Hey gorgeous souls, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another one of my videos today. So I've got my Mandalorian mug filled with lipstick already, with my peppermint tea in. I have had a stinking cold all week, so if I sound ill, then that is why. So I'm topping up on all the peppermint tea goodness. So grab a cup of your favorite drink, because today I'm going to be sharing with you scripting do's and don'ts. I'm going to be sharing what scripting is, why scripting may not be working for you currently, how you can get it working for you, and my top tips and tools on my do's and don'ts with scripting. Scripting is a powerful manifestation technique, and I'm really excited to be sharing this video with you today, and I really hope it's going to help you. But before we dive into all the goodness of scripting, if you're new here to my channel, then welcome. My name is Emma. I'm an award-winning life coach, 2 times best-selling manifestation author, law of attraction YouTuber here on my channel, and the host of the #1 spirituality podcast on iTunes, Spiritual Queen's Badass Podcast. And here on my channel, I cover all things law of attraction, manifestation, spirituality, and self-help. So not only do I really hope you're going to enjoy this video, but the abundance of videos of here on my channel over the last 8 years. So first of all then, let's dive in. What is scripting, I hear you say? Well, scripting is a method of manifestation. One of the ways you can manifest your dreams into reality. I learned about scripting very early on in my law of attraction journey, and I'm so glad I did, because I feel like it's definitely one of my manifesting superpowers. I absolutely love scripting. I think it's so powerful, and I know that so many of you guys love it as well, but it's not for everyone. And that's what I really want to stress here as well. It's not for everybody, because not every tool modality that ever exists in the law of attraction is going to be for every single human being. You know, we've got 8 billion people on the planet now. Not all 8 billion people are going to resonate and love every single practice that I love or that you love, for example. So if you haven't watched my Finding Your Manifesting Superpower video here on my channel, I really would suggest checking it out first of all, so that you can understand what your superpowers are and maybe reflect upon that, so you can decide whether scripting is your superpower. For me personally, it definitely is. I love it, and I feel like it holds so much power in my manifestation process. So how often do I script? Well, it really depends, in all honesty. Normally I do a scripting exercise on the new year. I'll script my year for the year ahead. I'll write like a dear me letter, dear universe letter, and give myself a year. So I'll write that letter to my current day self from my 2024 self, who's already lived 2023, for example. So I really love doing that on New Year's, because it's always really exciting and it feels really good to do that. And I just love writing letters, and I love the scripting element of it, as well as goal setting and writing things down. Writing is definitely my manifesting superpower. So for me, I thrive with this practice. On a weekly or monthly basis though, it really depends what I need. Scripting to me can actually look more like affirmations sometimes. Scripting can also really come in any way, shape or form. Maybe I want to write a letter and release something, or for example, maybe I'm wanting to script something into existence. So there's many different ways that we can do scripting. I wouldn't say it's something that I do really often or really regularly, but I don't feel I need to, because I have that overall year scripting exercise that I do, and I'll honestly just use it then for maybe some emotional healing, or something I'm wanting to release, for example. So I think if I'm trying to manifest something specific, I will use it. But again, it's more like as and when, rather than me saying, right, I use it religiously every single month for X, Y, Z, and you should use it for this too. And with all of the suggestions here in my work on this channel, it has to feel good to you. I feel like the #1 reason why scripting doesn't work for people is because they're either not, they don't understand how to do it properly, or they don't understand the practice of it. But secondly, that actually it's maybe just not their manifesting superpower, and maybe there's visualization or meditation or something else out there that's so much more powerful for them, that they love and enjoy so much more than scripting. So if you are someone who maybe gets a little bit bored with scripting, or is like, oh, I don't want to write reams and reams and pages of stuff, Emma, then honor that. Maybe scripting isn't your manifesting superpower or something that you should be putting your energy to. But still, obviously, you know, continue with this video, because then you're going to learn the do's and don'ts with it. But still, it's honoring, like, is it not working for you? Because actually it just doesn't feel good to you. Maybe you're doing it too often, and scripting is really an asking exercise. It's really something I would do in the first stages or the first step of the law of attraction process. Ask. It's not something I would do for the second step of believe, the third step of trust, the fourth step of letting go, or the fifth step of receiving. I would not be doing scripting in those steps. I would be doing it purely for that ask step. And again, I think this is where a lot of people go wrong, is they will use scripting to move along my 5-step process or the law of attraction process, when actually you're just asking, which is not moving you through to those subsequent steps. You're staying in that ask step, which is obviously hindering you. It's not helping you. So if you're doing like scripting every day, I would really ask yourself, how much joy does that bring to your life? Does it feel fun, first and foremost? But secondly, are you continually asking for the same things? Or are you asking once and then letting that go and trusting it's going to come to you? So you really need to be honest with yourself there, because there's no judgment. There's not like you're doing it wrong. It's nothing like that. It's just making it work for you. And I know if I was doing scripting every day, like, I would bloom and hate that. That would not make me thrive. That would not feel good. It would just become a hindrance after a while. And then I'd probably resent doing the whole practice altogether. So I think there's a lot of information out there which is like, you need to do these things every single day. But I personally see scripting as more of absolutely something that's in the ask step. It's not something that I repeat or would advise repeating regularly. Definitely not for the same things anyway, if it's different things. And I feel like as well, it keeps people stuck in that asking stage first and foremost. But then you're not moving through the belief of looking at the blocks. You're not then moving through the action steps of taking your action towards those things. So to give you a really good example of this, I wouldn't call a 30 before 30 list a scripting officially, but I did like an unofficial scripting with it. So I wrote my list of 30 things I wanted to do by 30, which I wrote in May. So I was just before 29, because I'm 29 now. And already in those like less than, well, it is 6 months now because we're in November. In 6 months, like, I actually looked at my list a few weeks ago to tick off passing my driving test and getting a car. And I was like, oh my God, half of those things have already happened or are like in the process of happening. And as soon as I put that list away in May, I totally forgot about it. Like, I was, had deadlines, projects, book launch coming up, holidays. Like, it was the last thing on my mind. It was just, I know I want to achieve those things, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So reflecting on that list even 6 months later was really, really great, because then I could see, well, actually subconsciously, or just, through the power of the law of attraction, by setting those powerful intentions, although it's not an official scripting exercise, it has already put those wheels in motion where half of these things are happening and I don't even have to think about them. So you can even see how powerful that is, because it's not like I was sat there like, right, I need to work towards every single one of these things. Like, right, what action can I take? How do I break that down into 6-month, 3-month actionable goals? I was not doing that at all. It was literally sat in my notebook, out of sight, out of mind. And for me personally, I feel like that's how I manifest the most powerfully, is when I'm not like, right, how do I make this happen? I just allow those opportunities. And obviously, like having those check-ins is important, so then I can reflect and say, okay, wow, all these things are happening, but what are some things that probably do need my energy off this list that I'm not currently feeling are in the process or happening? Because at this point, I've got 9 months to go till my 30th, which sounds scary in itself and I don't even want to think about. But so I also have to be mindful of that, of like, okay, you've got a goal, so you also do need to, with the ones that aren't feeling like they're progressing, maybe put some energy towards that. So that's just a quick example of how powerful a form of scripting can be, and how you don't have to sit there reading it every day, rewriting it every day, gosh no, and putting tons of energy into it. I did not sit there asking. I asked once and then put it away, completely forgot about it. And now I'm moving through those steps of believe, trust, let go, receive, because I'm working on the ones that aren't, naturally coming together at this precise moment, and thinking of, okay, how can I support this? So specifically, because I know people will be saying, Emma, what on earth is scripting? Let me break it down for you really, really simply. So scripting, as I've said, is a law of attraction manifestation exercise. It's usually done through writing. So you will need a notebook or journal for this. And as I've already said, and as you'll know from my examples I've given, I blooming love this practice. It is so, so good, and I would recommend it to everybody. But it's not always going to be for everybody, as we've already established. So as I've given you an example of, my Dear Universe letter, my year letter, is a fantastic example of scripting. So scripting essentially is writing into existence. So you write your letter, you write your script as such, you write your page of paper, whatever you want to call it, as if it's already happened. So you don't write down things like, I'm going to learn how to drive and pass my test. You don't write things down like, I want to learn how to drive and pass my test. You would write things down as if it's already happened. So this year I learned how to drive and I passed my test first time, which is a true statement. I did, but that's what I would have done in my scripting exercise. Maybe I probably wouldn't have put pass first time. I would have left it open, but absolutely being clear and specific absolutely does help with this. So in my Dear Universe letter, my yearly annual letter that I write myself, or write from my future self to my current self, I will talk about the things that have happened in my year ahead. So obviously this year, as we come up to 2023, I'm going to write down all the things that happened in 2023. So yes, they haven't happened yet, but you write them as if they already had. So very much the structure of this letter will be, throughout 2023, you had a really great time with work, you started writing your next book and it's gone really, really well. You've got an amazing publishing deal for that too. You took some amazing holidays to Italy, to France, and had the most amazing time and enjoyed a great work-life balance. So that's just a great example of, even if those things haven't happened yet, how you turn that into scripting. So the Dear Universe letters I find are the most common and easiest way to script, but it doesn't have to be as formal as that. It can literally be a short little paragraph to yourself of wanting to script that today, for example, your meeting at work goes really, really well. You can absolutely use it in like daily activities, daily manifestations, maybe weekly, monthly. I think people tend to use them towards their manifestations more primarily. So writing their manifestation into existence. So an example of that would be, I passed my driving test first time and I feel really comfortable and confident with driving, and I've overcome my fears with it. And I also have a wonderful Mercedes car that feels so great to drive and was absolutely within your budget, or absolutely within my budget, should I say, and things like that. So you would turn it. So if you were manifesting to pass your driving test and buy a car, that's how you would do it. You would say it as if it's already happened and be really descriptive with it, because you don't just want to be like, you passed your test, or I passed my test first time, I bought a Mercedes car. That's very vague. You want to be like, as I said, very descriptive. Like it is like a script, it is like a story. So write the story as such, write the script for that play as such, where you are being descriptive. If you were reading a book and it was just like the man crossed the road, you're going to be like, what? That's so lame. That's so boring. If it was like, she passed her test first time, she bought a Mercedes car, it's boring. It's like anything can happen within that. And we know with manifestation, the clearer you show up to the divine mirror and the universe, the clearer, the more clear it's going to reflect back to you. So clarity is key. Remember that. We want clarity. So get descriptive. How do you want to feel? Obviously write it as present tense, but talk about how you are feeling. Talk about how that came into fruition. If there's any blocks or fears, talk about overcoming them and talk about that obviously releasing as such. So there are are great opportunities here to script amazingness into your life with the power of scripting. So I've given you a couple of examples of how I script, of how I commonly see scripting happen. Like I said, it can be used for daily life, it can be used for weekly manifesting, it can be used for absolutely anything. And lots of different things can kind of come into scripting as such, but I would define scripting as writing into existence, writing in present tense as if it's already happened. So yeah, sometimes writing affirmations I think arguably could be classed as scripting, because you're writing it as like a confirmed statement of I have a job that I love and I'm paid incredibly well for it. So do you know what I mean? Like you write it as if it's already happened. So I think arguably affirmations could come into scripting, but I think scripting officially is more of that like writing, scripting, you know, creating the story as such as if it's already happened. So let's get into those do's or don'ts quickly. So what you want to do with scripting is be really specific. Like you, as I've said, you don't want to be like wishy-washy with it. You don't want to be like, I passed my test first time and I have a car. We want that depth there. We want that specificness. So for me, my annual letter can be like 3 or 4 pages sometimes, because I love to get specific and really cover everything that I'm hoping to aim towards or manifest within the year, so that everything's covered and I'm not thinking like, oh crap, I've forgotten that, or oh god, I forgot that. So I do really love to get really, really deep with it, because then I get the rewards from that with that clarity reflected back to me. A don't with scripting is, I would say, don't do it every day. Like, don't get stuck in that asking stage, because then you're not going to be moving forwards. And if you're continually doing scripting and continually doing these asking exercises, you're never moving forward in that manifestation process. So don't do it more than once. Well, this should be another don't. Don't do it every day, and don't do it more than once for the same desire. Obviously, you can do it as many times as you want for other stuff, but if you've done it once for a desire, don't do it again. Like, leave it be, let go of it, release that attachment. And I know some people will be watching this and saying, well, what was if I've changed my mind or I want to add stuff to it? I would just release that list and burn or destroy it in a safe way and rewrite it, reset that energy. So absolutely, you can rewrite it. You can redo it at any time. The universe isn't going to hold you to that first list, definitely not. But just burn, release it, set the intention that you're releasing that now and clearing and transmuting it, and then write your new scripting letter for the year or whatever for your desire. Another do is actually to do scripting. I bloody love it. I think it's so good. And I know that people love scripting so much. I am genuinely shocked sometimes well, most of the time with scripting, how accurate it is. So do get specific, do scripting, because you will be so pleasantly surprised in the best ways of how scaringly accurate scripting can get for your life. So another do is to reflect upon your scripting often. So, you know, don't just write your annual letter if you're going to do that like me and then just don't look at it for a year. Like, you know, set some time aside, maybe every quarter, maybe every 6 months, whatever would feel good to you, to look at your scripting, to read through it and be like, okay, like where am I? Just like what I did with my 30 before 30 list. Where am I? Do I feel like I'm on my way to achieving those things? Is this a helpful reminder of maybe I need to put some more energy or time towards that desire or that particular aspect of your scripting? So do reflect on it when it feels good to you, because then it will help you to, you know, feel excited that a lot of those things are happening without you even having to think about it, but also that helpful reminder of maybe I need to give my energy and focus to that desire just that little bit more. Another do is to write in present tense. We do want you to write in present tense. So you're not going to write it, like I said, as I want to or I am going to do that. It has happened. I am this. it has happened. So you do want to write your scripting as if it's already happened and it's in your reality. That is really, really important. So you do want to write to your current self as if it's already happened, or just write it as if it's already happened. And my final don't is to don't rush things. Like, you don't want to just sit there and like bash it all out and be like, right, oh God, I've forgotten everything. I've forgotten to write that down. Really take your time with scripting. So do create a ceremonial space for your scripting. Like my New Year ritual, which I am going to post really soon here on my channel over Christmas period, is part of that. So I will set time out, I'll set the space, light some candles, get some nice snacks, have a nice drink, and I will do all of this with pure intention. There is no distractions, my whole focus is on it, and I spend as much time as it needs on there. So I obviously make sure I have enough time to do that at that point. So do set out time for your scripting, set the space, get yourself centered and grounded, maybe clear the energy with some aura spray, maybe bring your favorite crystals as well to the ceremonial space. So make it a ceremony, make it a ritual, because when you show up with that level of intention and focus and positive vibes, it's only going to be reflected back to you with the depth and clarity in your scripting. So do make time for it. Do set out the time and do create a little ritual and ceremonial space of good vibes and positivity. But I really hope this video has helped you and given you the best do's and don'ts with scripting. And of course, I would love to hear how you script as well. Let me know what your scripting practice is. Do you love scripting? Do you do it often? Maybe you've had some realizations from this video, but please let me know if you love scripting or if you're going to try scripting because of this video. I would love to hear. And let me know what wild and amazing manifestations have come into your life from the act or the art of scripting. But thank you so much, gorgeous souls, for watching. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love to see you again soon. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments box down below, because I reply to them all, and I will see you in my next video, which will be on Tuesday. Lots of love.